Alright guys, so this is the first trap. This is the Ojibway bird trap. So I just got it set up in the garage for demo purposes. So this is one way of doing it with the spring pole. And so there's the cordage that goes right through the vertical stick. This could be like an actual tree. And the cordage goes right through, so you do that notch right there. And then a stick will stop the cordage there, it'll jam it in. And the cordage, you'll then do your snare. And then the idea is you'll put bait right in the middle here, or if you're going for jays, you could put it there or at the end. So when it lands with its feet right there, the snare will close and you'll catch it by the legs. It's not a very humane way to catch a bird by the legs, if you ask me, and it's unlawful. This trap could be used to catch jays that could be flying around your camp. So if you see them get caught, you could go and actually dispatch them pretty quick. But I wouldn't do this like way out where you don't see if birds get caught or not until the next day. So the bird will land here, and then it'll close on the legs. Now you can do this with a bigger sapling, so you get a lot more power and more speed when it closes. And this will be a wider stick too, so it'll be more solid. But like I said, this is for a demo kind of purpose. You see, you kind of get the general idea. My fingers stuck in there pretty good actually. And like even if I kind of do that, the snare is closed. And you want it to have enough tension so that even when it's closed, it'll stay tight, right? If it's just loose there and there's no tension there, the bird will be able to escape. Like this is not bad actually. See if I can get that stick back in to get my hand out. Lock the cordage right there with the stick. Open it up. Alright, I'll show you this trap in a book, and then we'll set it up with a different way with a rock. So I did it with the spring pole, but you can also do it with a rock, like described into this book right here. The rock, and yeah, it's a pretty simple trap. You can research it online as well. And like it says here, le collet Ojibway est très efficace pour capturer les jets que leur curiosité naturelle fait se rapprocher des campements. So their curiosity of jays will bring them close to your campsites, and it works pretty good on jays. And they're curious birds. Okay, so I got everything reset. Get the general idea. My rock. The heavier the rock is, the more tension you'll have, but the trigger will be harder to release as well. So if it's lighter, then there's less tension here. Like you can see, like I can knock on here and it's not going to release because there's too much tension. You have to fool around and then adjust it. Trigger it down. If you'd be trying to catch birds, obviously you don't want to do this close to the ground. You want to be higher up. I'd say, I don't know, depending on the birds, like different species of birds like to be different kind of heights in branches where they're comfortable with. So, but you don't want to be close to the ground because, you know, birds like to be higher up. They feel more comfortable there. If they're closer to the ground, they're going to be scared of predators and whatnot. If you'd be trying to catch like a raven or something that walks a lot, then you could go closer to the ground, I guess, in that regards. But yeah, that's the Ojibway bird trap. Set up. Animal comes in. Okay, so the next trap that I'm working on is called the figure 4 deadfall trap. The figure 4 trigger system is probably one of the most popular. And I'm using Tom Brown's Field Guide to Wilderness Survival book to kind of go off of. So this one, I got it down on the ground. I want to see my 3 sticks, how they're gonna work together. So you've got your animal coming in, going for the bait here. With all the weight, it's pretty tough. The more weight you have again, the less it's going to be sensitive. The issue with the figure 4 too, that I find, I'll take a bit of weight off. Take this off. Is it's not like the most sensitive trigger system. The next trap that we're gonna do, the paiute, is more sensitive. You can see here, I'm actually able to turn and move the trigger without it triggering. And if an animal pushes on this side where the trap goes and goes towards the other side, it can even come out and completely flip out. So animal would come in. There you go. That's actually a decent weight for it. It's a good, I don't have to weigh it, it's hard to say. So there you have it, your 3 pieces for your figure 4. Your upright piece, it's got right angle at the bottom and a flathead screwdriver. Now the piece that goes at an angle like that, flathead screwdriver at the bottom, and your L7 notch, and your horizontal bait stick. Bait goes at the end, so you can put the bait here. L7 notch right about in the middle for this one, but you can have it longer too. And an L7 style notch. So if we put it together quickly, this is the angle stick. Angle stick goes like that. And this one goes like that. And there you go. Get the log in here. Always tough to put it in the right kind of balance without everything falling. There you go. Set up. Animal comes in. Boom. And you got him. Alright, so for the paiute deadfall, I want to show that you don't really need that much cordage. So I'm going to use one strand of this paracord here to do my trigger, paiute deadfall. Alright, paiute deadfall or paiute deadfall. Short amount of cordage. This is one strand of inside paracord, like I showed. So you don't need that much, of a strong cord for this to work. Make cordage with natural materials as well. Now these are just my safety blocks. So when I'm setting it up, if this falls, at least it'll hit the blocks before my hand here. Take the safety blocks out. And let's set it off. And then reset it and then talk about it. So the animal will come here. It's high. Now there's a great channel, Shawn Woods. He tests a lot of traps, and he caught rats with these. And what he does, he puts bait really high, so this forces the rat to come up. Boom. So the rat comes up and actually tries to get up on the stick, the bait stick there, and his weight will trigger the trap. So let's reset this. A lot more sensitive than a figure 4. So I'll put a link in the description, the video that I'm talking about where Shawn catches rats with this exact trap. Super interesting video. Okay, so I just need to find all my pieces to set this up. I'll put my safety block before I forget. Squish my hands. Okay, so you have your upright. This doesn't have anything special, but the flathead screwdriver point. You have these two pieces right here. This one just has a V notch. Again, the V notch is a simple 45-45. It goes in, boom. The rope is tied at the other end here of this one. This trigger stick goes up and around, just like that. And you want it basically, when you put pressure on the top here, you want the end there to push towards the front. And then you want pressure on the top there. So I'll bring my log down for my pressure. Hard to really find that sweet spot. And then your other stick here, let me move camera here, give you a different angle. The stick right here, stop from there and then go underneath your rock or your log. You want to find a sweet spot where it's going to hold, and then right there you have her. Now I like you can see here, my vertical stick is not underneath my log, so that I'm sure that when this flips, the log won't get caught on it, and I'll have a good squishing effect. So we'll see how sensitive this is. So you want to have your bait on top over here, so that your animal comes in. Between the paiute and the figure 4, I just love the paiute deadfall. It's way more sensitive. Yes, you need to have cordage, but I think it's worth, if you don't have cordage, to make some with natural materials. And like I did here, it's good to know that once trying to paracord, you can build this trap. It is tough to set, but the figure 4 is very tough to set too, and you need all your notches to fit. This one, the notches don't need to be that much precise. It'd be easier to make without a knife too, like rocks or something like that. Perfect. Set up again. Dun, dun. All right, the next trap, I gotta make a fish trap. And I gotta actually make some primitive style gorge hooks instead of actual wood hooks. So I carved out two different styles. The first style is from Morris Gohansky's Bushcraft. This style right here. So it's like a Y stick really. And Morris used gorge. It's made of Saskatoon wood or roasted willow. And you can see right there the principle when it gets into the fish. So these are the ones that I did. Now, these are sharp. Like this hurts my finger doing this. Now I'm pretty confident like this would work. I had birch. It was one piece. Managed to split it in half, giving me two gorge hooks. Now the other style that you guys are probably familiar with too is just the one point on that side, one point on that side. I'm not done carving it out yet. And this one you'll see in multiple books, such as Tom Brown's Field Guide to Wilderness Survival. We've got it right there. So, and this looks, pretty simple to carve out, but it's like tough because you don't have any grip to hold on to your stick. This one, you can see it's kind of tough to hold on to. I don't want to stick my finger in there. I already got it decent sharp. Never actually tried these gorge hooks. There's a few videos on YouTube, but I don't know, pretty confident it would work if they're done properly and you let the fish swallow it decent and it's like a good sized fish. I'm sure they'd get caught. But it'd be an interesting technique to try out. Let me know if you would like me to do a video on it and actually go out and try to catch some fish with these, either ice fishing or summer fishing. There you go. There's my gorge hook. You'll hide it with your bait. So these are my two different styles. Let's tie some rope on it and then put it to a single spring pole and show a mechanism that would work. Alright guys, so as you can see I'm actively fishing for this goldfish right here. I got my two hooks. I've got my gouge there. You can see it's solidly hung on there. Solid. And I've got it set up, this one, to my first spring pull snare there. So it's just a paracord line with my fish line at the bottom and a hook there. And I've got my second gorge hook hooked up to a different system that's kind of a variant of the Ojibway bird trap. So I kind of came up with that one here. Thought it'd be a good idea, but it won't work as good as the other spring snare because the friction from the paracord going through the hole, you'll have less tension. Was this one, you can see once once this releases, it'll be right onto that spring pole. So first one, this snare, not the snare but this hook right here. So the fish comes along, bites the fish, this tangles like that in the stomach. Fish pulls, it'll pull this trigger there, that'll go off, as you can see, and you caught him. So just a simple L7 notch onto this piece, and it latches. It could be on a root, could be on another tree, could be a branch somewhere, and this goes out in the lake. Fish hooks, pulls, and there you go. The second one is the one back over there, so it's the Ojibway style. Let's get a bit closer. Your spring pole goes in through the hole, around the stick that the bird would usually land on, and then to your gouge hook. Let's try this bad boy. So the fish comes along, pulls on the rope, and yeah, there's not, see the stick kind of blocked because of all the twists, but as the fish kind of shakes around, eventually it kind of pulls it up. So just regular spring pull for this works better. Alright guys, the next trap we got here is the Wynn double wishbone deadfall. Just set it off, so let's reset it, show you guys how to set it, I guess. Never actually tried this trap before. It's a new one for me. I didn't know about it, and I'm actually really impressed. And it's really simple to make. 2 wishbones, one with a V-notch there, and then one with a chisel point, or a, like I like to say, flathead screwdriver. Goes just like that. Bring your log down on there, and then your trigger stick goes right underneath there. Boom. So a lot less notches than the figure 4, and works good, like you saw. Right, I'll reset it from a different angle. So we got our first wishbone like that. The one comes in. Bring your log down on there, and then put your trigger stick. You'd have your bait right at the end there. So you would basically have your bait right here, or you could even have it higher up on the log to force the animal to kind of come and lean on here and trigger the trap. Alright guys, last but not least, I got my windlass T-bar snare. So this is my windlass, my cordage between the 2 trees, twisted with my engine. Goes down here, my T-bar, and my T goes like that. And this is where I'd have my bait. I got it a little bit differently than in the book. I've got it for a front entry. So this would work for a bit smaller game than top. Now, as you can see, I got this stick right here. It's kind of like my safety stick. So it blocks my my rotating stick here to go farther. Now let's set this off. So as you can see, it goes down, T-bar, then off the T-bar I have my snare. So animal comes in, touches the bait stick here, pulls it, boom. Everything kind of rotated like quickly, but the action that I needed to set off the snare, it's nice and tight. The issue that I have though is that your animal can simply, if it's a cordage, cut it off, chew it, and chew it off. So I'll do a modification to it to block the snare in one location. First I want to bring it back up to tension. Gotta do some loops. Oh, I didn't have it really crazy tight or anything, but you can have these snap pretty good. All depending, of course, on the strength of your cordage. Now you really want to watch out with this trap not to have it smash you in the face when it's releasing. That's why I use this stick here to kind of come and block everything. Now I got this stick with a hole in the middle. I'm gonna lash it on here, and my snare, once it tightens, it'll go through the knot and the animal will be stuck right here. Now of course these traps are illegal in Canada anyways, in most provinces, and I know they're unlawful as well in the States, if I'm not mistaken. So most countries you want to avoid doing these for obvious reasons. They're not necessarily the best way to get animals. There's more humane traps out there, all the modern traps that are actually certified, but these are great to practice for situations where, you know, you might not have these and you might be, you know, stuck in a survival situation where you really need food. Lash that on good, lash it on the other side, passing my cordage through the hole, make my snare. Okay, so I got it set up again. Now I just realized that it'd be better to not actually lash anything on my trigger posts or trigger system, and just make one a bit further in the front, put two more like two more posts in, and then do my my snare system off of there instead of on the trigger system. But limited with time today, it's Saturday and I gotta post this at the latest on Sunday, so this is it for now, I guess. See if it works, see if this won't get caught in here. Animal comes in, yeah, see, so this won't work set up like that. If I could modify it and have it right in the back here, and then it would come in, boom, go up, and then it'll close in right there, and then the animal will be actually stuck here, won't be able to get out. Alright, that is it guys for this week's video. So I tested out 6 different traps with 3 of them having different variations. So the Ojibway, I did 2 different variations. The windlass, I kind of showed modifications as well, and the fish spring pole, I had modifications as well. Please guys, leave me a comment if you like this video. I know it was quick. With the challenge, I only have a week to put these videos in, but I really like making these traps, so I'm looking at maybe doing a series and going more in detail with traps on my channel, so let me know if you'd be interested in that. I could build them different sizes, actually build them out in the bush and show you guys a bit how they work, and you know, talk about them more. So yeah, alright guys, so I'll see you guys on the next video, and please smash a like if you liked it. Cheers.